Good morning. This is another of the eggs that I found at the store, local store here in town. And when I did the last one, I had my camera turned in the other direction. So today I turned it around and I'm gonna try to get you a little better, look up a little better, be able to see just a little better how I put the pattern on this one. Now, it has a little rabbits and stuff inside, and it was, I can't remember what color it was on the outside, but I did base coat this one with with white, and I used a sealer on the piece first, and then I put my white paint on it, okay? Because I wanted to start with white, and I'm going to mix it with some purples, and I'm going to use some metallics, and I'm going to be using a folk art metallic purple called amethyst, and I'm going to use a folk art paint called eggplant. And these are the ones that I'm going to work with and put some checks on this egg. So I'm going to show you again how to get the checks on this rounded surface here. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to go kind of figure out my top here, a very top knot, and I'm going to make me an X on that top. So I'm going to go up here and very easily I'm going to make me an X. I've got just a lead pencil, and I'm going to make me an X right on that top. This is going to get me 4 sections on my egg, okay? So then, to get it straight, I have to edge that down. If you try to draw a straight line all the way down that egg, there's no way you're going to get it even. Your eggs are, when you're working on a rounded surface like this, your checks are going to be all different sizes. They're going to go from small at the top to big in the middle to small at the bottom. Not as small, the top's going to be the smallest. So I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm just going to pull little hatch marks down the side of this egg. There's so many of these eggs out there right now. You can go to TJ Maxx or Ross or Home Goods, any of those stores like that. You're going to find Easter pieces right now that you can transform. They all come already decorated. This one has a pretty gold finish on the bottom, so I'll probably not mess with that. So I turned it around now, and I'm going to take those hatch marks right down the other side. Since I'm doing these little marks, I can get a straight line that comes down that piece. If I try to pull a line all the way down, I'm not going to have a straight line. It's so much easier if you just follow your little marks there. Now this egg is, it's the way it's made. Let's see here. I don't think I like that. I think I need to, okay, I'm going to erase this side. Since this egg's got this hole cut out in the front of it, it does throw it off for you. So I'm going to try to move that using my eraser. I'm going to take that check off, and I'm going to move it over just a little. Okay, so I'm going to redo my X up here. Pencil eraser won't stay on my pencil. I'm going to redo my X here, and I'm going to move it a little bit over to the side here. Because when I come over here to here, I'm off quite a bit. I want it to be kind of even on the side, so I just come over just a little bit. Being as my egg has got that piece cut out of the front of it, it does throw you off a little bit. It's not perfectly, it's not centered or anything, so it's a little bit different. But you're going to get an even number. And anytime you start with this X like this, you're going to have an even number. It always takes an even number to do checks. Okay, now I'm going to go down this back side, my other part of my X. This is going to make me 4 sections in my egg. Back around here. Now this is the front. Right down this front piece here. Now in between those, I'm going to put another X. I'm going to go right, this is like cutting a pie. Right in here I'm going to make an X, and I'm going to make one on this side, and I'm going to follow that one down. This puts a line in between those other two. You can make them as big or as small. You can cut this pie into as many pieces as you like. Now I'm getting right into my front piece here. Coming right down. Okay, got those two. Now let's go over here and go down this one. Okay, got one more in that X. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections right now. And I'm going to go, these are quite wide down here, so I'm going to do another X. I'm going to go in between these two, make me an X this way, and then go down this way. I'm just continuing. It's kind of like a star in the top of that. This will probably be my last one. Turn it opposite, go down on the other side. Okay, now I've got one right in here. We have to divide each one of these, so I'm going to have to put another X in there so that I have divided each one of these sections again. Let's see, I got 1, 2, I got one right up front here. Now I've got two sections, these sections are still wide, so I'm going to have to go one more X here, and I'm going to take it this way, and then turn it into this way. And I'm coming down one more time. Okay. I could go stripes on this one. Or I could go checks. I did show, in the other video, I did show you how to do the checks down. I think I'll just stripe this one. Okay, now I've got 16 stripes around through there, going right around the top of that egg. I don't know if you can see that real easy or not, but right in there I've got 16 stripes going down through there. So I think I will just do this one in stripes instead of doing it in checks, since the last one I showed you had the checks on it. Okay, I've got to come down here, continue this one on down. I missed my front here. Coming right down the middle. Okay. And that one's off just a little. Down. And I got one right here. Okay, now I'm ready to start my painting. So every other one of these, I'm going to use this metallic first. I'm going to put my metallic color on first. And you want to get a brush that fits inside those checks, that fits inside those stripes real easy to go around them, okay? So I'm going to use my metallics, and I'm going to use as large a brush as is comfortable for you, and one with a good flat edge. Let's go over here too. I'm going to go down to a size 10 on this brush, and you want one that has a good flat chisel edge on it. And to make sure you're flat on that end, you can always take a brush. You want to clip off any wild hairs you have on there to make that one real flat across the bottom. That's a new brush. To make it flat across the bottom, I can just clip that and go with it. Now I'm going to paint every other one of these. I'm going to paint with the lavender metallic, this is the amethyst. It's folk art, so I'm just going to pick me one because every other one of these is going to be this color. See, coming down that, let the edge of that brush be the edge of your, come down for your straight line. If you'll see, I'm using my little finger. That little finger is what guides my brush. If I just try to hold that on there and do that, that's very hard for me to do. I learned by using my finger as a stabilizer. This holds my brush in place for me. I'm going to do one side of the stripe, then I'm going to reverse it. I'm right-handed, so pulling that brush toward me, working on the right, is my best way to paint. Whatever's comfortable for you, that's what you want to do. So I'm going to go all the way around this one. Okay, now I move right on around my skip one and go the next one. Turn it around. Turn that brush up there at the top. If it's uncomfortable for you to use that brush at the top, then do everything but your top and go down to a smaller brush when you get up there. You want to work with the brush that makes you the most comfortable to get in there, and as big a one as you can control, the better. If your brush fits your thing, if you was using a little tiny brush to do the whole thing, it'd take you forever. But if you use one that fits your check or your stripe, then you're okay. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it again and go on to my next one. Working my way right on around. This paint dries real quick, thank goodness. If you're careful, you can get around there without having to dry any of that. If you're careful where you put your hands, don't put your hands in what you've just painted. Okay, coming along. Okay, 1, 2, down to the bottom. When you're working in around, there's some little bitty tiny flower designs at the top. I'll go back in and highlight those with a little bit of gold after I get it all in. I've got to clean up a lot of these eggs. When you buy them, they've not been painted very well, and there will always be mistakes on them. So when you get it, you're doing it, you just sometimes have to work around those and clean them up as you go to change your design a little bit. Okay, now I've got 2 more stripes to go down through there. As I come up into that corner, I turn that brush up on its, stand it up on its edge so I can go right up into the corner of that stripe. See, I turn my brush there. Turn your brush up on the edge of it and take it right on up there. Painting these stripes and stuff, you do have to have a good brush. A brush that's got a good edge on it. One more. Okay, now I've got one coat of that metallic on there. And rather than put another coat of metallic, I'm going to clean my brush a little bit, and I'm going to go back in with that eggplant color. And I'm going to use some of it now to do some shading on that color to make it so it's not just one color there. I'm going to make it a little bit dimensional. I'm going to use Joe Sonia's clear glaze medium. This is what's going to move my paint a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of it. Let me shake it up. I'm going to put a little touch of that on my brush. Get these paints out of my way. And I'm going to come back in here and right down these sides, I'm going to put a little bit of that on my brush, a little bit of medium, just a little tiny bit. Then I'm going to go in on the left side of my brush. I'm going to pick up some of this eggplant color. And I'm going to blend it a little bit over here on my palette. You can see that I'm moving it. So it's really just on one side of my brush. Then I'm going to come in here and working on the left side mostly. I'm going to come right down that thing with some of that darker color. This puts me some variation of colors in that piece instead of just puts me some shaded colors. I don't like it to be just one set shade in there unless I'm doing just black checks, and then sometimes I'll make them just one color, and sometimes I put other colors in them. Now see how I've brought that dark shade right down through there? I'm going to go around my piece and do that to each one of my stripes. Just kind of a hit and miss down through there. And that medium is helping that paint to just flow right off of that brush. You can do it with water as you're more experienced, but the medium makes it a whole lot easier for you. Okay. The more color you put in there, the more dimension you have on that piece, rather than having it just a flat color. See, now I'm getting a little more shading in there, getting a little more color in it. Right here where it's around that piece of the egg, I'm going to go right around in there and shade underneath that a little bit. A little bit of color in there. Same thing up here. I'm going to turn this so that I can put a little bit underneath this part. Just like a shading underneath that. See, now I've got one more to put some of that purple on that left side. You could put any colors that you want. Add some colors into this stripe down through here. Whatever color. See, he's got some pink in there. They've got some green. His little flowers in there underneath that thing's got some green in it. We could, let's see if I can find a green over here that I like. Let's try this one. This one is called Succulent. That looks about like that green. Let's put a little tad of that there and see what we get. You can play with it, just play with it back and forth. Okay, and I'm not even going to clean my brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that and take it in there and see what it looks like. Okay, that's not showing up real good. Let's clean my brush. I may put some of that in the white instead of putting that. So I'm going to put a little bit more of my purple kind of in these stripes and just kind of pull it here and there. Just so I don't have those stripes one color, I'm just adding a little more color in them here and there. That just gives them a little more dimension by adding some color in there. See, now my stripes are just all different shades from the metallic up to the darker purple. Now I'm going to clean my brush. No water, and I'm going to go back in, and in that white part I'm going to shade with a little bit of that green that I just picked up, which was the color Succulent. And I just kind of chose a color. He's got a little green flower down in here. Just kind of chose a color with that. And I'm going to go in here and put a little bit of that in my white stripes. Just very lightly coming down those white stripes with some of that green. See how I set some of that green right in there? Okay. I will varnish this one, and I will put glitter on this one. A lot of glitter, and I will put the glitter in my varnish. If I can get it far enough along today to varnish it, I'll show you how to put that in. Okay, now see how pretty that is? Just got a lot of different colors in there. And the varnish is what'll kind of set it off. So I'm going to use some gold, some of my liquid gold, but I'm going to put the varnish on before. I'm going to go ahead and varnish it so I can show you how to glitter it, how to put the glitter on. I'm not a big fan of diamond dust for the simple fact that I sell everything I do, and I don't want that diamond dust this easy to get cut on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to varnish. Then I'm going to go back in with my gold, liquid gold, and put some color on that. So I'm going to use my Josanya here. I've got some little cups, and this is Gloss Varnish by Josanya. It's made by Chromium, Chroma. Chromium. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it from dickblick.com, and I'm going to brush it on. This is the gloss, so I've got a little bit of I'm going to put a little bit here in this little tray that I've got, and I'm just going to get me a brush, And I'm going to brush it on. Let's see, that one's too stiff. You want a good soft brush to put it on with. Okay? And it's dry enough to do that, okay? Then I'm going to come back in and clean up that gold. Clean up those edges there and go down some gold stripes down my piece. Okay? This is just a clear varnish, but it's gloss. I can still see a little bit of my hatch marks, but I'm either going to bring a beaded line of beads down each of these stripes, or I'm going to take a gold stripe down through there. That's why I did not erase them off. I can cover them up. I'm going to cover them up. So I am in here now with my varnish, working my way around the egg. I love this varnish. It's been good for me. I've used it for years. I used Delta for years and then they discontinued it, so. Now let's see, you can see that, how shiny it is already. Okay. Now I'm going to dry this real quick. So you're going to hear my dryer. I'm going to dry that real quick so I can go right back in and work on it. If I can hold it. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my liquid gold and I'm going to clean up all these little spots around this edge here and down here. They had white paint, had paint get down there. So I'm going to take my liquid gold here and I'm going to use a kind of a narrow brush. Let's see what I got here. I keep my gold brushes in turpentine, and if you leave them in the turpentine, they won't harden up on you. And then you can just take them out of the turpentine and, well, those two are molded together. You can take them out of the turpentine and clean off the end of them, and you can go right back in and use them. They're soft as can be. If you let them sit, they'll dry out on you, but if you put them in the turpentine, but when you take them out, be sure you squeeze and dry them really, really good. And then you're ready to use your gold. You got a really good soft brush and you're ready to use your gold again. Now, I'm going to put me a little bit of gold in this little tray here so I don't fool around and spill it. It's the worst stuff in this that you can possibly spill on you, so you want to be very careful with it. Okay, now I'm going to go right back in here and down here near the bottom of this egg where it needs to be cleaned up. I'm going to take that liquid gold and this small brush and I'm going to go right in here and paint that with my gold because I want it to be neat. See, I'm right down here on the bottom and I'm very lightly going around. It's the same gold as already on it, so it matches good. But I just want to clean up all the little spots that they had. When you buy them, there's always mistakes in the painting and stuff, and sometimes you can correct them, sometimes you can't. But I want to take that all the way around to clean that up. Just using a small brush and going in there very easy and clean that up all the way around. Now, see that cleaned up all that down in that edge right there. Okay. Now I'm going to go right up here and right around this edge a little bit. Got a few little spots here that need to be cleaned up. There's a little dot there. I'm going to paint those little dots back in with the gold. Put the gold on those. And I'm going to clean this up around the edges of this. Very carefully. Come right around that edge, very easy. You see my little finger's the one that's helping me to control that brush. Couldn't paint without my little finger. Working all the way around that and just making it really neat and clean up around through there. Okay, I've got 3 of those little things over on this side. Don't want to get my fingers in it. 1, 3 little teardrop things there. Now I'm right up to the top. I gotta go over here and dump over here and do this side. One left at the top right here. And I'll have my gold back on there. Okay, see, that just made it all real neat. Finished all that gold out. I retrimmed this. I retrimmed all this down here. Finished all that gold out. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to put gold stripes on there or I want to put some beading on it. I really liked the beading on that other one. Let me look over here and see what kind of beads I've got. And then we'll see. I'm going to put that brush right back down in that oil for the simple fact that it'll dry out if you don't. And I'm going to put the lid on my paint over here. I don't want to spill that. That is the worst kind of paint you could spill. Now let me get me out some beading and we'll see what we've got here. I've got some black. I've got some green and some gold. that other one I just mixed them up. This beading you can buy on Amazon, and it comes in a package where you get 8 or 9 rolls, and it's all different colors in the package. I'll put a link on it here on my thing when I'm on my page here. Okay, see, that's even, this is kind of a bluish purple. Let's see what this looks like. See, this is kind of a, it's more on the blue than it is purple. So, but I've got that one. Let's see, I've got a real pretty green here. Let's see what this one looks like. See, if I put this, these are real tiny little beads. See, I've got them in all different colors. There's a black one. Here's a gold one. I kind of like this green. There's a little bit of green in here in his flowers. The flowers where the things are in the middle. I kind of like that, and the black one. Okay, I'm going to use my 7000 glue. Get my glue out over here. This is B7000. And I'm going to start, let's see, I'm going to start with this green one. I'm going to do green and black and green and black. So I'm going to start this one right here in the middle. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to put a little gold up there and see how I like that gold. If I like that gold, I'm just going to go around it with the gold stripe down those lines. Then we're going to put the glitter on it. Okay, let's get some gold paint here and see what that looks like. Because if I don't like it, I can cover it up with that, with the beads. So if I go down, let's go down here and put it on. So if we go right here and we come right up that with a little stripe of gold. No, I'd rather have the beads. Okay, go right back into my beads now. Okay, I'm going to go right down through here. That's a gold one. See what this green one looks like again. Okay, I'm going to just kind of mix them up. I'm going to start with this green one. And this stuff goes on so easy. This glue is so amazing. And wherever you put it, those beads are going to stay there. So I'm going to go right down. I'm going to start right here and go up this little stripe with a fine little line of that glue. Just teeny tiny little line of glue. Doesn't take but just a tad. And when you lay that bead down on there, it's going to stick immediately. So if I put this bead on here, okay. Now I'll take my scissors and clip that one. Let me get me some scissors here. Okay. Clip that bead right there. Put it in place and it stays. Yeah, I like the beading better than I do the gold stripe. Okay, got that one on. Now I'm going to go right down here below it and put it right on down that one line. So I'm going to go right here and come straight down. Little teeny tiny amount of glue. You don't want to leave the lid off of that 7000 too long, because it may harden up on you too. Right in there. Clip that. Put it right in place. Okay, now see how pretty that is? I'm right down through there. You got a little time to work with it to make sure you got it on there straight. But once it dries, it's there to stay. And it stays in place. Now I'm going to work my way around here, and my next row is going to be black. Right here. Ooh. A little tad of glue. And I got the black one. Go right down here on the bottom. Put me a short piece in this bottom down here. That one's so tiny, I'm going to measure it before I lay it on there and cut it. See, that's hard to do too because it's easier to have your glue on there. Okay, I believe I can get it. Okay. That black, that gold didn't really show up on that white like I wanted it to. So that's why I decided to use the beads instead. Okay, got a black and a green one. Now I'm back to the green again. Uh-oh, my black one moved a little bit. Gotta make sure they don't move on you because they dry on there. Okay, I probably better put all the tops on before I raise it up again. So I got one right here. This is going to be a green one. Little short one there. I'm just flipping back and forth from black to green. I don't want to cut. I ruined my scissors cutting wire with them. So bad at that. Okay, that's black one. Next one's green. Now this one goes pretty far down, so I'm going to go ahead and go right on down that stripe there. Hold it up now. Got a green one here and a black one here, but I'm going to go on around and do these long ones first. Get them out of the way before I get in there. I don't want to get in the way of it. So clean my tip off on my glue. Okay, now you can get the gist of it. Okay, let's flip over here and do a black one on this side so you get the thing. There's no sense in me sitting here and putting all these on with you. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to do the glitter with you, and we'll have this one done. I'll put the other beads on after we're off, just a repeat of the beads. Okay, you can see what it's going to look like. Now let me put the lid on that glue real quick, and I'll show you how I put the glitter on. Okay, I've got my little tray here that had my varnish in it, and I'm going to get my glitter over here, and I use an iridescent. This is Go Create iridescent glitter from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of my varnish in my tray, and then I'm going to put quite a bit, shake that glitter into my tray. This time I don't have to varnish everything because I've already got a coat of varnish on it, so I can just hit and miss the places that I want the glitter to be. Go back to a brush, a soft brush, and come back in here. That one's a little bit too big. Get me one here, it's not so big. Okay, now I'm just going to take my glitter and I'm going to hit the spots. I'm going to put a little bit of glitter in here, right down in here. I'm just picking up my varnish, going in here, and just kind of hit and miss that. Just kind of go around that, and that clear varnish with the glitter in it, all you're going to see is the glitter when it's all dry. So I'm putting some glitter inside that. Okay. Just take your brush, pick up your glitter on your brush, and brush it in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the video, but when I take a picture of it and post a picture, you'll be able to see it. Okay, now I've put the glitter all on the inside, and I'm going to go around through here, and I'm just going to hit spots here and there till I use up the glitter. Don't have to put it everywhere. Just kind of smooth it on there. Just going to go in between my pieces there. The first coat of varnish protected my piece. This one's just a decoration. So I don't have to worry about getting it all over the thing, all over my egg. I can just use it as a highlight. If you're watching me on YouTube, I hope you'll subscribe and hope you'll watch my other videos. And if you're watching me on Facebook, I appreciate it. Let me know you're on here and where you're from. If you have any questions, you can always message me. I'm happy to answer your questions for you. Okay. You can put as much glitter as you want. When you get that on, if you feel like you want more, then when that's dry, go back in and glitter it again. See, now I hope you can see that. I'm not sure you can, but I hope you can. Okay, and I may also take, no, I probably won't. I started to say I may take a line of that beading. I may go around this bottom right here with a line of beading, but I don't know if I'll go inside that or not. See, that's pretty. Lavender matches, and this varnish is water-based, so it just cleans up with your water. I put the brush up here in my brush basin, and I think we're finished. I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't know if I said before, my name is Judy Mullins, and I live in Tennessee, and you are with Vintage to Chic. Thanks for coming along with me.